This is a case of endovascular treatment for an enlarging ophthalmic artery aneurysm with flow diversion. A 75-year-old woman was diagnosed with an intracranial aneurysm during workup for migraines. Aneurysm was initially treated conservatively. However, on repeat MRAs, there was evidence of growth. The aneurysm literally doubled from the prior MRA. The patient remains asymptomatic with diabetes and hypertension and comes in because of concerns about a growing aneurysm located along the paraclinoid segment of the left internal carotid artery. The patient is awake, being treated under conscious sedation. There you can see the aneurysm is in the paraclinoid segment. This person has fairly significant tortuosity of the cervical anatomy, and there you can see the guide catheter is curved in the distal internal carotid artery. With additional curvature, you can see the Marksman microcatheter is being crossed into the middle cerebral artery, and we are attempting to deploy flow diversion across the distal internal carotid artery. However, because of constant herniation, what can also be noted is there is a buddy wire, an 018 wire, that has been introduced alongside the microcatheter in the guide to provide additional support. The pipeline device has been delivered, but it has significantly elongated as it's being delivered because of the lack of proximal stability. And therefore there's clearly a need for a second device because of significant foreshortening. There you can see the device is very hard to push through that microcatheter, and you can see the surgeon's hands as they're pushing the device, literally using very deliberate move to deliver the device intracranially. Again, this is all reflective of the severe tortuosity. Now that original V18 buddy wire, which was still within the guide, has been advanced, and the guide catheter is also now being advanced to allow for greater distal support for the delivery microcatheter. Once we deliver the microcatheter up to the middle cerebral artery, that additional guide support beyond that one additional loop does provide us enough support. Again, what should be noted is that as the microcatheter is being advanced and the delivery device is being pushed forward, the proximal guide and the cervical carotid is herniating backwards. So these are reflective of the extreme forces which are required during delivery of these heavy metal devices, which require much greater force than the original intracranial stents which were developed. Again, noted is further advancement of the guide, and if you notice on the left panel, a clamp is being used to piecemeal push the device forward to express this out of the microcatheter. Again, reflective of the severe force. You can see the calcified dome of the aneurysm and the plain fluoroscopy, which allows an excellent idea for the endovascular surgeon to optimally locate the device. There you can see the device has been deployed and opened distal to the aneurysm. Now our main concern here is to prevent a second prolapse of the device. So what we want to do at this point is really physically push more device out rather than unsheath, which reduces the likelihood of foreshortening. Again, you can see the clamp in the left panel being used to push the guide wire out while the microcatheter is being held steady in place, so the device is very reliably opening distal to the aneurysm and gradually coming back into the very proximal part. So there you can see now there's the overlap segment of the prior device, and the device is just being pushed forward aggressively to allow for deployment. Again, we are trying to adjust the guide position. So look at the top right panel where the guide catheter has been advanced, and we have simply delivered the device all the way through. Excellent wall apposition is noted. You can see good coverage of the neck is noted, and there is stasis within the dome of the aneurysm.